Where is God? It's a question whispered by children, pondered by philosophers, and etched upon the human heart. From the dawn of creation, humanity has yearned to know the divine. Is he confined to a distant heaven, or does he dwell among us? The Bible unveils a God who transcends space and time, making his home within believers' hearts. The search for God is a pilgrimage of the soul. Let us embark on this exploration with humility and awe. The Bible offers glimpses into the splendor of heaven, God's dwelling place. Isaiah chapter 6 verse 1 speaks of Isaiah's vision of the Lord seated on a throne, high and exalted. The temple trembled with his glory, and the train of his robe filled the temple. John in Revelation chapter 4 verses 2 to 3 describes a throne in heaven and one sitting on the throne. He speaks of a rainbow around the throne, symbolizing God's faithfulness and covenant promises. The imagery evokes awe and reverence, reminding us of God's majesty and power. These passages, though symbolic, paint a picture of God's grandeur and holiness. They remind us that he is not a distant entity but a king upon his throne, ruling with love and justice. Heaven is not merely a location but a state of being in perfect communion with God. It is where God's presence is most fully experienced and where his glory is revealed in its entirety. Jesus, in John chapter 14 verse 2, comforts his disciples saying, "In my Father's house are many mansions. I go to prepare a place for you." This promise of an eternal dwelling place with God brings hope and solace to believers. It reminds us that our earthly journey is temporary, and our true home awaits us in the presence of our Creator. The concept of heaven as our eternal home should shape our perspectives, priorities, and actions. It should inspire us to live lives pleasing to God, knowing that we are citizens of a heavenly kingdom. Section 4. The divine spark within God's temple in us. While God resides in heaven, he also chooses to dwell within believers through the Holy Spirit. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 19 reminds us, "Your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit who is in you, whom you have from God." This truth revolutionizes our understanding of God's presence. Just as the Israelites treated the Ark of the Covenant with reverence, we are called to honor God's presence within us. We do this through lives of holiness, obedience, and love. We become living testimonies of God's transformative power. This indwelling presence is a source of strength, comfort, and guidance. It empowers us to live victoriously and to reflect God's character to a world in need. Section 5. Preacher's Wisdom, Illuminating God's Presence. Respected preachers throughout history have offered profound insights into God's presence. Charles Spurgeon, the renowned 19th century preacher, once said, "You are as much in God's presence in one place as another. Believe this and remember it, whether you are in the church or in the street." Billy Graham, in his simple yet powerful way, reminded us, "The ground is level at the foot of the cross." These words echo the truth that God's presence is accessible to all, regardless of background or social standing. These insights encourage us to seek God's presence not just in designated places of worship, but in every aspect of our lives. They remind us that God is near to the brokenhearted and present in the mundane as much as in the extraordinary. Finding comfort in God's omnipresence. God is everywhere. He is not confined by walls or limited by our understanding. Psalm 139 verses 7 to 8. "Where can I go from your spirit, or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, you are there." This omnipresence is a comfort. God is with us in joys and sorrows. He is our refuge, our strength, and our ever-present help.